Puff was the first one that came through and made us feel like, it was us.
I guess you can say the public humiliation. Basically, after the major documentaries come out, right? After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
Everyone's talking about Diddy plotting some sweet revenge on his pal Jay-Z for snubbing him during all this drama. It seems Diddy's ready to air out all of Jay-Z's skeletons, and there's chatter that Beyonce's looking to bounce before Jay-Z gets busted big time, turning him into another Diddy scandal. Now, Jay-Z's famous for throwing this epic pre-Grammy Rock Nation brunch every year, right? But guess what? He scrapped the whole bash this time. Word has it that he's dodging Diddy like it's his job. Diddy was always the life of the party at Rock Nation Dos, but ever since Cassie blew the whistle with her lawsuit, Jay-Z's been giving Diddy the cold shoulder big time. Jay-Z doesn't mess around. He cuts ties quick with anyone he sees as a problem, and it looks like he's done that with Diddy. But here's the juicy bit. Diddy's not about to take it lying down. He's hinting he could spill on Jay-Z, especially about the rumors of how Jay-Z might be treating Beyonce when no one's watching. Wow, there's so much to dive into here, so let's get started on this.
And we can take it back a step further. We can go all the way back to when he was trying to get with Aaliyah. The Foxy rumors. This man has a legit history of what he's allegedly doing to Beyonce now.
There has been so much chatter about Jay-Z possibly being the next big name to face the music in Hollywood, and guess who's rumored to be stirring the pot? None other than his old pal, Diddy. The word is Diddy has been dropping dimes on Jay as payback for Jay-Z giving him the cold shoulder and keeping the distance. If you've been anywhere but under a rock these past few months, you'll likely be clued in as to why Jay-Z and pretty much the entire industry have been stepping back from Diddy. It's all ties back to some serious accusations from his ex, Cassie, and a few other women, accusations serious enough to see Diddy shunned by the entire industry and even nixed from the Grammy guest list. Now, it seems Diddy's holding a particular grudge against Jay-Z for cutting ties, considering how tight those two were. Beyond just industry buddies, but real friends. With Diddy even saying Jay-Z and his mom were the only ones who could call him by his real name, Sean. It's clear why Diddy's feelings especially betrayed. Rumors are flying that Diddy's now on a mission to ensure Jay-Z is the next to fall, highlighting just how deep his bitterness runs.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
Meanwhile, it's the Carters' marriage that's under the microscope as well, and there are a few things we need to look at. These whispers aren't exactly new, but fans are more convinced than ever that there's trouble in paradise. Beyonce's been acting a bit off lately, and word on the street is that the drama kicked off following some shady revelations about Jay-Z's pal, Sean Diddy Combs. Plus, Diddy's still showcasing their bromance on his website, Combs Global, making it clear he valued their connection big time. Diddy likely thought Jay-Z would have his back during these tough times, but Jay-Z hit the eject button on their friendship faster than you can say betrayal. This move by Jay-Z isn't exactly out of character either, considering his history of stepping away from friends when the heat's on, especially if it might tarnish his own rep. Take, for instance, his connection with R. Kelly. Despite the controversy surrounding Kelly's fake marriage documents with Aaliyah when she was much younger and Kelly was in his 30s, Jay-Z stayed tight with him. They even toured together. But as soon as Kelly's legal trouble surfaced, Jay-Z ghosted him, erasing any traces of their friendship as if it ever existed. So seeing Jay-Z switch up on Diddy shouldn't really shock anyone. However, Diddy clinging to that best friends forever ideal probably didn't see it coming. He thought Jay-Z would stick by him, but Jay-Z wasn't about to risk his own skin. Fast forward a few months, and Diddy's still on the outs, branded an industry outcast. By now, he's adopting a "if I'm going down, I'm taking everyone with me" attitude, supposedly leaking info on Jay-Z. With Jay-Z now in the hot seat, the streets are buzzing with talk that he's next on the chopping block. For years, whispers have suggested Jay-Z's been involved in dodgy dealings, though nothing concrete has come to light. Back in the day, without the internet or smartphones that we have now, gathering solid evidence was a tall order. Plus, Jay-Z's always been savvy enough to cover his tracks, leaving no evidence or witnesses behind.
John Carter is worse. He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. This lining up people he calls friends.
Adding more fuel to the fire, some folks seem to be in the know and hint that Jay-Z and Diddy share some questionable traits when it comes to their dealings with people. Jaguar Wright, for one, didn't hold back, suggesting that many of Jay-Z's former allies like Big L ended up in some seriously bad spots. Fans have been piecing things together, especially after Jaguar Wright's comments about Jay-Z seem to echo the dirty laundry she and other airs about Diddy. Speaking of Diddy, the list of folks who've had a rough go after rubbing shoulders with him is alarmingly long, longer than his record of chart toppers. And as Jaguar Wright would put it, you're judged by the company you keep, which makes Jay-Z's long-standing friendship with Diddy look all the more suspect. But Jaguar didn't stop there. She also dived into Jay's rumored past with female artists like Foxy Brown, Tiara Marie, and Aliyah. This all loops back to Beyonce, who was reportedly just a teen when Jay-Z, then 28, met her and started eyeing a future with her. Despite Beyonce saying they met at 18 and kicked off dating at 19, a 2007 chat with Charlie Rose saw Jay-Z fumbling and eventually admitting that they met a decade prior.
However long she's been recording, that's when I met her.
Well, don't you remember how long it was?
Yeah, when I met her. I mean,
Was it 5 years ago? Was it?
I met her 10 years ago.
Crunching the numbers, it looks like they crossed paths in 1997, putting Beyonce at around 15 or 16 years old, depending on the exact dates. Beyonce's dating history before Jay-Z was just typical high school romance, nothing serious. And even with her early start in the spotlight, Beyonce led a relatively sheltered life, especially when you stack it against Jay-Z's background. It's not just the age gap raising eyebrows, it's their vastly different life experiences and maturity levels. Throw in Jay's questionable history with his much younger stars like Foxy Brown and Aliyah, and it starts to cast a shadow over the golden couple image of Jay-Z and Beyonce that they've been selling. And if we're going down that road, let's not forget the sting of Jay-Z's infidelity, compounded by his public declarations praising Beyonce as the strongest woman for forgiving his indiscretions. It's enough to make anyone skeptical about the narrative they've been promoting for so long.
You know, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle.
And here's the kicker. When asked if he'd handle things the same way if Beyonce had been the one stepping out on him, Jay-Z said he'd hoped he'd be as strong as she was if the roles were reversed.
Do you think you would be able to be as forgiving of her as she was of you?
I hope. Again, because I love her the same way. No matter what side, I love her the same way.
But let's keep it 100 for a sec. Do you really think Jay-Z would stick around if Beyonce was the one caught in a cheating scandal? The double standards are blinding. Beyonce's fans have been buzzing for a while about how she seems different post-scandal, suggesting she's not been herself since the whole cheating drama unfolded. Then, as if people started connecting the dots between Jay-Z and Diddy's questionable past, rumors have begun to fly that Jay-Z might be controlling Beyonce with substances, mirroring the way Diddy allegedly manipulated Cassie with drugs before dragging her into compromising situations. The whole saga got a fresh surge of attention after this year's Grammy Awards, where Jay-Z's speech turned heads. He lamented over the fact that Beyonce, or the young lady as he oddly referred to her, hasn't snagged a Grammy for Album of the Year yet, which may be found a bit awkward to hear.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that.
Keep in mind, Beyonce's already a proud owner of 32 Grammys, while Jay-Z trails with 24, so when he stood up there, throwing a subtle dig at the Recording Academy while clutching another trophy from them, it definitely made folks do a double take. Fans are calling him out, wondering why he'd bother showing up to collect more hardware if he truly believes the Grammys are playing favorites. But Jay-Z's speech wasn't the only thing that got people talking. When the camera caught Beyonce's reaction, she seemed distant, just mechanically going through the motions, barely engaged with what was happening. Sure, Beyonce has always said that she's naturally reserved, but those who have followed her know she used to sparkle with more life. And then, right after Jay-Z wrapped up his remarks, he, Beyonce, and Blue Ivy made a swift exit, skipping the rest of the ceremony. The Bayhive, with their eyes like hawks, didn't miss a beat. They're convinced there's more turmoil brewing in the Carter home than meets the eye, sensing a shift in the atmosphere around them. Many fans have been talking about how Diddy snitched on his friend and showcasing their support for Jay-Z. This fan wrote on X, "Diddy really looks like a snitch. I didn't even know the reason I never liked him. But the real one, my favorite, is always Jay-Z. I know every song of you, my man. You're the real person in the game." And how do you view these developments, though? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. For more stories like this, do check out some of our other videos on your screen.